It really is that simple. Don't want to write it? Then don't. Hello everyone, I'm Taylor Bambico. I'm a self-published author of young adult urban fantasy, adult thriller, and erotica, and today's video is going to cover 4 things you need to consider when you're writing sex and fiction. So this is sort of a response video to one made by Derek Murphy entitled Sex and Fiction, How Much is Too Much? And since he does not write erotica and I do, I figured I would just give my 2 cents. And if you want to check that video out, I'm going to put that in the description below for everyone. So with that being said, let's get started. First and foremost, this should be circumstantial to your book. For instance, if you're writing romance, it's probably best to more focus on the actual relationship, not so much the sex. Not saying you can't allude to it, but more or less focus on their relationship. Thriller? Sure, write a scene or two. It's very plausible your protagonist, whether male or female, is probably in some sort of relationship. Or not, it could just be a quick hookup. Next thing to consider is the age range you're writing for. If you're writing young adult, it's more than reasonable to allude to the act. But it's not necessary to write an entire scene. In fact, fade to black, or in this case, tell versus show the rear they had sex is what I recommend. If you're writing adult works, now you can be more in depth with what you're writing considering your audience is going to be much older. And those who are younger should realize they're reading books meant for adults. Then of course there's erotic works. This should be obvious that sex is going to be the main part of the story. Descriptions are going to be far more explicit here. But of course those who are reading erotic material are expecting that. However, for some people this is not what they want to read, much less write. And that rolls over into my third point. Do you even want to write sex? Keep in mind, it's your work, and if you don't want to write sex at all, don't write it. It really is that simple. Don't want to write it? Then don't. In fact, it might not even be necessary for your story to contain any sex at all. Having said that, here's what's required of your book if you are involving sex scenes. This actually ties in with the first 2 points a bit. Romance does require HEA, which just means happily ever after, or at least happily ever after for now. And the sex is generally more traditional, I guess is how you'd put it, and more focused on intimacy. Now with erotica, you don't have to have the whole HEA ending. In fact, you could end it horribly if you so desire. The sex is far more descriptive in this work and can include alternative lifestyles such as BDSM, or include aspects such as roleplay and fetishes. Of course, then there is erotic romance, which would include both aspects. That's the great thing about erotica. The possibilities are endless. But you get the idea. But the one thing to remember for all sex scenes, safe, sane, and consensual. Anyway, this was just going to be a quick video on the 4 things to consider before you write sex and fiction. Hope you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Click that bell icon so you're notified when I upload new content. Leave any comments you have in the section below, and have a good day. See ya!